Spider-Man visits his past self, and everything goes wrong. Spectacular Spider-Man 301 begins when Peter Parker was just a 15-year-old kid, monologuing to himself as he silently swings into his bedroom only to find another Spider-Man beat him to it. Kid Spidey attacks, assuming it's Mysterio. Was he always this angry as a youngster? But the older Spider-Man from Earth 616 explains he's a time traveler. He whispers something only he would know, what he saw Liz Allen and Flash do in the biolab that one time. But Kid Spidey doesn't get why Jameson is there. Against all odds, they're buddies now, Spider-Man says. Kid Spidey takes off his mask. They forgot how young he was when he started, especially Jameson, who tried to kill him a few times. Teresa, Peter's maybe sister, tells the boys to get to the point before May gets home. Peter tells Kid Spidey that the Tinkerer is planning an alien invasion in their timeline, and the key to stopping it is here. Teresa and Jameson will use their contacts to figure out how to stop Tinkerer over the next couple of weeks. And what's Spider-Man gonna do? Oh, he has some ideas. Kid Spidey and Spider-Man team up over the next few weeks, taking down some of Spider-Man's oldest and most annoying foes. First off, Doc Ock mid-prison break, and the elder Spider-Man has some ideas on how to keep him behind bars going forward. Teresa's going to meet an old CIA contact, stay tuned to find out who, while Jameson goes back to where it all started, the Daily Bugle. He sneaks into his own office and comes face to face with himself, give or take a few years. The alternate Jameson is shocked, but not that shocked. After all, it's been a wild few months. Which is true, but all the craziness has been great for circulation. They really are the same person. Jameson came here to find out about the Tinkerer, so he asks a few questions. But first, he needs to tell himself something. Spider-Man is Peter Parker. He's a kid trying to do the right thing. Go easy on him. Jameson can't believe the words coming out of his own mouth. Across town, the Spideys are continuing their war on crime, this time going after the big guy, Green Goblin. After punching him around a little bit, they unmask him as Norman Osborn for the police. Kid Spidey doesn't recognize him. Ignorance. They leave the bad guy for the cops, who aren't quite sure why they're arresting him. After all, Spider-Man is the menace, right? They didn't see Gobby commit a crime, so they let him go. Bad call, boys. He cackles maniacally as the cops, who immediately regret their decision, open fire. He just keeps on guzzling that sweet, sweet goblin juice, ready to kill every single one of his spider-themed enemies. That night, Teresa finally meets up with her CIA contact. She tells him the truth. She's from the future, but you'll forgive Nick Fury for not totally believing her. That is, until she says she might be Richard and Mary Parker's daughter. Now she has his attention. The next day, Peter gets the usual bully treatment from Flash Thompson until his Uncle Johnny Parker stands up to him, telling him he's certain Flash will be embarrassed by this bully phase one day. Flash doesn't care, but he tells Uncle Johnny to be careful. Peter goes through uncles like you wouldn't believe. Holy shit, Flash. Peter keeps little Peter from tearing Flash's head off, then reveals that, once again, against all odds, they end up being good friends in the future. Besides, they've got bigger fish to fry. Norman Osborn was released. Osborn reads the same paper courtesy of the Daily Bugle, and now he has a new enemy to destroy. He pays Jameson a visit, doing a few thousand in damages in the process. Osborn calls Jameson a liar, a slanderer, until a headline on Jameson's computer catches his attention. Spider-Man unmasked. Jameson, you always were a d***. Norman smiles, finally uncovering his enemy's secret identity. You can see Jameson's regret pouring through him. He's just a child, he begs. But the Green Goblin doesn't care. He leaves Jameson with a parting gift, a pumpkin bomb, and flies off into the night. While Teresa and Fury take care of the Tinkerer business, the Spideys go after Green Goblin, but somehow he just disappears. Just as quickly, Sandman and Vulture appear out of thin air. Spider-Man remembers this game. He attacks a random passerby, knowing that, of course, it was Mysterio all along. This happened the exact same way in Spider-Man's past. But while it's good they took Mysterio down, they're no closer to finding Osborn. Jameson calls Spider-Man with Tinkerer news, so he heads downtown while the kid heads back to Queens. He can't find Aunt May. Must be bridge night. But when he spots her purse lying on the floor, he realizes something is terribly wrong. His spider sense blares. Looks like they won't have to find the Goblin after all, because the Goblin found him. An hour later, 616 Spider-Man heads to May's old house to check up on Spidey, but he only finds remnants of a fight and a paper with a pumpkin drawn on it. Spider-Man did this. He messed with continuity trying to make everything right. He was wrong. He gets a call from that hideous, vile voice. The Goblin knows his name, Peter Parker. This isn't Back to the Future. It's The Night Gwen Stacy Died, Part 2. But this time, the stars of the show are young Peter Parker and his innocent Aunt May. And if he doesn't get there in time, they are going to die. Spider-Man calls Teresa, who insists she can handle Tinkerer by herself. He needs to save young Peter and May. So while she takes on the old man with a couple cool gadgets, Spider-Man heads to the Washington Bridge where Norman asks the kid hero a simple question. Why? He's just a kid. Why stop bank robbers in a stupid Halloween costume? Which Peter thinks is insane. The Goblin dresses up like a jazzercising iguana that rides a bat while throwing pumpkins. Not even a real theme there. Even with his life in the Goblin's hands, Peter still just mocks him. Dobby spots 616 Spidey crawling up the bridge and blasts him. He was so close. The Goblin takes off, wrapping up Kid Spidey in a pretty familiar way. 616 Spidey attacks the Goblin and nearly gets his eyes torn out in the process. While fighting off the spider, Green Goblin reaches into his bag and pulls out a detonator. Spider-Man knows where this is headed. He tries to stop him, but he's just too slow. Kid Spidey rips free of the restraints at the very same millisecond that Osborn clicks the trigger. A small bomb goes off, sending May flying down toward her demise. Kid Spidey gets his webs ready to save her, but again, Spider-Man knows where this is headed. He'll snag her leg, her neck will snap. Time slows as young Peter watches his shrieking aunt fall. Her shadow tumbles down toward the unforgiving river, but this time she falls safely into a web net. The elder Spider-Man had years to think about how to save someone in this exact situation. After all, he and the Goblin have been doing this a long time. Spider-Man breaks the Goblin's glider and sends him crashing into a truck. As he starts to stand, Spider-Man knocks him back down. Is this the older, wiser you, Osborn asks? The one smart enough to finish the job? Spider-Man punches again and again until he hears a voice call out, "Stop!" But he can't. Osborn just keeps hurting people. More people will die simply because Osborn lives. May can't be certain any of this time travel stuff is real, but if he's truly the boy she raised, he wouldn't do this. Tears stream down his cheeks as he falls into her arms. Overall, a successful trip to the past. No one died, Teresa stopped the Tinkerer, and she also found a photo in Fury's archives. It's Peter's mother, Mary, holding her baby, Teresa. This all but confirms it. Peter Parker has a sister. They hug tightly. He always wanted a sibling. Peter heads over to Kid Peter to tell him the big news, but he just has to take out the trash. He says he'll be back in a sec. While the hero and his new sister celebrate inside, the younger hero soaks to the trash can and throws out his suit. If this visit has taught him anything, it's that he's not ready, and maybe he never will be. Spider-Man no more.